Hi, John Paul here. We want to show you how your nice wide target on your stop. Also, in order to keep your 21-foot length, if you were looking straight up here, let's see if I can get back far enough to do so. You see that we are a little long because we had to put a winch up there. We wanted to keep it out of the way of the bow stop, and then of course if you try to get too close to the bow stop, you can see that could become a knuckle buster. So what we've done is we made this winch removable. Just pull a hitch pin, and if you can get it into 21-foot-6, you're okay. But if not, you've got that. So and here's your, of course, this pin's not all the way down, but here's your articulating fold away hitch. And we mounted the spare tire to that. We wanted to get the spare tire. We just didn't want to mount it to the post and add extra weight to the post. There's a lot of weight up here, although you can see it's very solid. So let's see. We moved the jack so that the handle's on the driver's side. That handle's on the driver's side. So if you ever needed to get out and check a load or tighten anything or whatever, it's all on the driver's side. Same thing even with your spare tire, if you had to take your spare tire off. We actually put lug nuts on your old spare tire mount, drilled them out and put lug nuts in so that lug studs so that your lug nuts, one lug nut fits all. So one socket fits all. You'll also notice that we balanced on the back side of the wheels. You'll see your weight back here on the back side. So we balanced on the back side of the wheels. Some of the details that we like to pay attention to. Your 7-pin connector, wired. It's a standard connector, standard connections, standard wiring scheme. So for all your lights, we ran that down through the inside of your tube. We crossed underneath here. I don't know if you can actually see what we crossed over or not, but then we ran down this tube for the brakes and the lights. We still have the protective coating on the aluminum fenders, and right here we'll peel that back right at the very end. I asked about if you had any green naga hide for these. You may not want any more trailer extras. The trailer ended up being a bit more expensive than we anticipated. The wheels ended up being a bigger decision than we anticipated. The fenders wouldn't fit, so we had to put new fenders on. When we put new fenders on, then the wheels being real close together, the fenders looked really super funky. So we moved the rear. We actually moved the front axle forward, and that didn't work because of these arms. And so we didn't charge you for that, nor did we charge you to move the front axle back to where it belonged. We did charge for moving the rear axle farther back. We had to drill a few holes, but for the most part, the trailer is made for moving axles back and forth, so that really wasn't a real big deal. LED lights. Oh yeah, loading guides. I was on the subject of loading guides. It's another $100 to put sleeves on them. We can do them in black canvas. They look pretty sexy. You got black carpet on your bunks, so that look pretty sexy if you want to do it. Just let us know. So anyway, here it is sitting on the trailer, and so we incorporated everything. I don't know. Maybe this is a little. Maybe you have to be a nocturnal or part bat to see this, but anyway, it worked out real well putting these bunks on. So, of course, there's your new shock absorbers. That was the other little surprise. It's like shock absorbers. Where'd those come from? Did you grow those last night? Anyway, trailer looks great though, and it is a custom trailer. So if you started with a store-bought trailer, adjustable, and then customized it, you'd have more money than you got in this one. So we're still doing all the right things. Oh, and these are your loading guides or target bunks, and we've got them on here with two brackets, one there and one back here, and then the target bunks come. They actually come back in and touch the and touch your main bunks. So the other neat thing I wanted to show you is out here in the engine stand room, and doggone it, I've turned the light off. Let's see if it'll strike here pretty quick. We have the transmission. I cleaned all the rust out of the transmission and reassembled it. Put a new bearing in the very back end of it. We've got some light. It's going to get brighter as we stand here. Let's see if I can get a little more from in the varnish room. But at any rate, transmission is not yet painted. I couldn't see any reason to paint it, and then I knew I was going to be making a mess when I cleaned the rust that was in it out of it. Only the one bearing was affected. The journal bearings that ride on the crankshaft, actually ride on the end of the crankshaft, all that's good. It's nice and smooth, rotates very nice and smooth. I saved the old bearing for you. I thought you might want to see what kind of problems you avoided just by spinning the bearing. You can imagine all kinds of atrocities. I've got over there on that manifold, on that 283, I have or else maybe down here on this block right here, you'll see the oil cap right here. Whoops, right there, right above my fingernail. So we'll need to, we'll scavenge that one, and because you're going to need something other than a rag here. So we're ready to. Got to put oil in the engine, and there's also a special break-in oil I put into the engine, and we're ready to start this guy up. I do want to start him up and fire him up, and before we put him in the boat, and then just check everything first. So anyway, that's the update I wanted to give you. We've got one other little piece of information we got to investigate, and that is that when you sent me this thing in the boxes and baskets, I had this tube right here, and it looks suspiciously like a tube that would have gone, well, from the intake manifold right here and allowed water probably to the elbow. At any rate, I'm a little puzzled as to what this mystery piece is that you sent me. We figured out all the others, which were your oil lines right here, and we were able to use drawings of the engine and the and also the water path or the oil path to determine the proper locations of these guys. But like I say, I've just got that one mystery. But we have other ML engines that we've done, and so I may be looking at the pictures, and of course, depending on the serial numbers, they're all put together a little bit different anyway. Little nuances from one to the other. I was cleaning some dust off right there. But at any rate, we're ready to fire this guy up and put it in the boat and hook everything up, and then hopefully we'll get a good day in a week or two, and we can nice warm day. We're like going to be minus 1 tomorrow, -3 tomorrow, something like that, depending on the before we go to the lake. But anyway, we're just about ready. So just wanted to give you that update, John, and hope you and your friends enjoy watching it. Thanks.